Good morning, good evening, and good night, wherever you are, and welcome to Chronicles, the City of Martyrs. And we begin our scene with Kindred, as always, three Kindred, who have gathered underground outside an entrance that leads potentially to the Shunt Club or the old Carthain tunnels under. This bricked up wall in front of them is marked with holy symbols and the number 9, which is carved into the wall itself. The bricks are loose, the mortar somewhat weak, and we will go to our characters in this dingy, smelly sewer that they currently reside.
Jonathan is busy kind of at the back of a group, also trying to use his animalism to spread word among the rats to gather into a small army to retake the tunnels. After all, there is food there, and it is their territory, and it does not belong to the creepy monsters. Instill in the rats a sense of patriotism.
All hail the Rat King indeed. All hail. Emily, for her part, she's just put a rucksack down at the close to it, and she's just looked at the others. She seems to be fiddling with a sledgehammer of some sort, and she's looking at the wall, and she just looks at the sheriff and just says, "So, are we ready, or do we need to discuss things first?"
He's looking at the door, well, the closement, barricade, whatever it is, and he looks to you and your big ass hammer, I think, and just say, "Well, whatever you want to do."
All right. You'll notice that Emily will not just begin fucking, like, she will at first go on the edges of the wall. She won't smack directly at the symbols because she's heard a couple of things that certain things can do certain other things that. So she's just going to try and destabilize it by beating the sides, the top, and the bottom out, like smashing those, and then see if the wall caves in or falls down at some point.
Just didn't realize I was muted. You bash in the wall, and I think due to your strength and figure there's just and the weapon you're using, which ignores 2 durability, you just smash this wall in very easily. I mean, for mortal or human, it would take some time, but you just give it like a good 1, 2, 3 hits, and the wall collapses or plummets before you. Lots of dust goes up in the air, lots of sort of horrid smells and vile kind of things hit your senses, and there's a strong smell of like death and decay, rot in front of you, and just a strong wind kind of blows as if air is being sort of freshly sort of let in through through the tunnels, and you're left with this black void, even by Kindred standards, that you can see quite well in the dark. This is a very dark tunnel. It's not seen a light or day or light of any sort for a very long time.
Emily just looks at the other two, and she passes, like, she fishes out she puts on the rucksack and just passes, like, fishes out a couple of flashlights and just hands one to the sheriff and sees he wants it.
I'll take it.
And she doesn't seem to have one herself. She just looks at Jonathan, and she doesn't really say anything. She just doesn't seem to give him a flashlight because of, well, probably some self-explanatory things. Just already I will be a noob in this. If I were to activate Oh, 1v8 it says right there. Okay.
Yes, it's just a blood point. You can activate your ability.
Emily's eyes begin to turn into that of a cat. They become very feline, like, and she just stares down the tunnel, and she will begin to go down the tunnel.
Just as you go down the tunnel, suddenly the group will hear a squeaking. They'll hear noise. They'll hear sound. And of course, this squeaking sound, none of you quite understand it. For one individual, as this mouse rushes past you and immediately jumps on Jonathan's shoulders and just goes, "Ah! The Rat King returns, as I said he would."
Yes, indeed I have. And I've come to reclaim these lands in our name.
I shall join you. I shall go forward and gain glory by joining you in the Forbidden Lands. Many females will be impressed. Many more wives for Squeaky.
Indeed. But do not neglect to tell the others. We will want an army if we are to retake our kingdom.
Your word has been spread that many seek a new Rat King, like the old days, the glory days, where food was abundant. I will come and I will tell glory and more story of your journey into the Forbidden Place.
Excellent, my beloved Squeaky. Let us continue.
Oh, one question: is your retainer or your bulldog coming with you as well?
Yeah, probably.
Yep.
That's
Okay.
because they don't know what's down there, so they probably just want as much backup as they can get.
Okay, so your bulldog will be coming down with you.
Talking to his dog
And
at the same time.
Squeaky is just on your shoulder. He's always resting on your shoulder. Every now and then throughout the scenes, he will either move away, come back. He does a bit of reconnaissance, and he's always around. He's always around. You can sense
He's always around. Not always seen, but always there.
He's always there, yes. So to the other players, you just see Jonathan speaking to his rat friend, squeaking away, moving his nose up and down, twitching his lips, and of course the rat seems to understand. He seems to be nodding at what he's saying. It's just resting on his shoulder.
It's just like squeak, 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 squeak.
The sheriff seems utterly unsurprised. And looks at the rat. Looks at it like it's like the pest it is. Like it's just a fucking rat. But nevertheless,
John will just kind of speak up to Boo. Oh, by the way, we're getting back up.
rats. Back up.
Well, if we're bumping into something problematic down here, it's best that rats bump into them first, I would say.
Our enemies made of cheese will never see it coming.
Before we proceed, I should have done this before the scene, but I completely forgot. If all players could simply roll their highest of their attribute, which would either be intelligence, strength, or persuasion, plus their blood potency. And if they could just roll that, please, for us. And please tell me, because I don't know who is who. So if you roll it, just
what's that?
It's your highest, either your intelligence, your presence, or your strength.
All right, power.
Plus your blood potency.
All right. Does vigor count into that?
Yes, vigor will count towards that if you do have vigor.
Oh, yeah. Oh wait, no, I don't have vigor. I have resilience.
Immer is me.
Okay, yep, that's cool. So that's 2.
So that's 2, and I roll an extra?
Yes, you roll an extra. Okay, so just 2 successes.
Okay, I'll roll. Roll an extra. Oh, I roll an extra.
Oh, okay, that does mean something. So there's two. So okay. So something will be happening with your character later. We'll do that later in the scene. At the moment.
Oh shit! I'm gonna roll as well.
Oh, sorry. Did you roll?
Yeah, he did.
Oh, nice.
Oh no! This keeps just going and going and going and going.
That's an
That's
exception, I think.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 successes.
Okay. Oh, was you the last dice roll? So yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 5. Right. That really makes
Oh,
a difference.
6.
Oh, sorry, 6. Okay, right.
Yep.
Right, 6 successes. That does make a difference. There's a huge difference there. That'll be mattering later on within the scene, not for now.
Okay.
So as you proceed, you are met with the tunnels are just old, and they reek and they smell of death, and you can see this long tunnel system that just seems to keep carrying on. And it gets to the point where the tunnel gets quite narrow, and you kind of have to crawl on all fours just to be able to sort of squeeze through. Water seems to be sort of seeping through, and it's quite foul smelling. It's horrid. You don't really want to know what it is. Those with acute senses active, it's putrid. Oh, you really have to like close your senses.
Feral senses and acute senses is not fun.
Oh, so yeah, you really actually even acute senses. I would make you do a roll, but it's not really relevant. But it's foul. You're blind. Your nose is actually burning from the sensation. Even your beast is going to get the hell out of here. Or I'm gonna make you get out of here, sort of thing. It's that horrid.
The beast is like, ew, and John's like, put up with it.
Yes, even your beast is just like, wow.
You're supposed to be a gangrel beast. What's wrong with you?
But what's really bizarre is the fact the water itself seems quite clear. Water, as you put your torch to it or look to it, it seems quite clear. But there's just a foulness to it. There's this rot to the water that just really overwhelms you. But you proceed further forward to a point where you get into a kind of underground area. It's filled with pipes and waterways, but there's hardly any sound. There's hardly any movement. You just hear the trickling sound of water and distant sound of bricks and sort of tunnels stretching or compacting and falling apart. But before you see a ladder that seems to lead upwards, lead quite high up. And you see kind of the flickers of light above you, and a sort of a sound, a very faint kind of musical sound. It's like the sound of a music box playing. You're sort of playing a tune, sort of da 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 da, just echoing around you. Humans wouldn't be able to hear this, but your kindred senses pick up that tune in the far off distance.
With my extraordinarily potent senses, how far would I be able to?
I think your BP is 2 plus 2, so it's 4. So basically, you can detect within 40, I think, yards, described as, or 40 meters, without having to roll. Anything beyond that, you have to do a roll to really gauge if there's anything beyond that. But at the moment, nothing. You don't sense any kind of heartbeat. You don't sense blood. Nothing living at the moment.
And so far, this tunnel has not branched out, right?
No, this is like a dead end. All you see before you is this ladder that seems to go upwards.
Okay. Emily just takes a look up.
Who wants to go first?
Emily looks around.
Dave, how far up does the ladder reach?
It's quite far. It's at least 40 meters.
All right.
It's a far up ladder. But it's definitely, that's where it seems to be.
All right.
I'll do it.
Oh, the bravery amongst you lot, the bravery.
No, he's acting in his dirge.
Fair enough. I'll take it. Yeah, so you start to go up the ladder. As you do, Squeaky's on your shoulder. And he does whisper to you. He does whisper to you like, that's the thing's music. The monster's music. It always plays it here. Always plays it. We learn to run away from the music.
I see.
Emily will follow like a couple of meters behind, giving him a little space, but
Okay, so I'm assuming all players are walking up. They're all climbing up.
Yeah.
So as you do, it takes a while, but eventually you get to the top. And there's a heavy grate. You have to kind of move and put it aside. But as you move the grate, it reveals this massive, like, open space, an open sort of underground tunnel system. And this massive open space seems to be like an underground warehouse from very old times. But it's been converted into this club. But it's a club that is no longer in practice. It's not seen any kind of life or movement for years, decades. As you emerge, you see before you the sort of dust settling on the tables, which are now broken and dusty, and there's a kind of a mist that floats around the floor. The environment seems to be rotten, as if decay or some form of fungus or green life seems to just eating away at all the furniture, all of the places. You see around you as well the signs saying like the Shunt Club nights, the images of like a bunny, other images of sort of a theme of sort of fantasy or magic, but it's all rotten away and decayed. And there's a stage before you that also has loads of instruments that are scattered around, but they just seem empty. It's as if the place is filled with ghosts and silent music. There is also a bar behind you. It contains some drinks and glasses, but again, it's also covered in dark cobwebs and dust. But as you proceed into this area, suddenly something does happen to you, but we'll allow our characters to react, and then something will happen. So what are our characters' reaction to this scene?
As Jonathan is the first to emerge, he kind of skulks the premises and looks around. His ruddy ears perk up ever so slightly. His nose wrinkles a bit, perhaps at relief of much of the smell, some of it leaving them behind as they move out of the tunnels. And he'll slowly begin to draw claws, as they are now indisputably, if not in the lair of whatever the local wildlife is, certainly very close to it at this stage. And yeah. Oh, he would have also helped his dog up, because dogs, well, actually,
You're actually to act as your companion, your dog companion. It immediately reacts badly. It's like, we shouldn't be. This is a cursed place. This is a horrid place. Smell of death everywhere. And Kindred, though you are part of death, you feed on life, and this is a place where you count. This is a place. There's that feeling, the sense of famine here. But we'll move on to our other characters.
James has drawn his handgun. He's looking around, looking behind the bar, actually. Turning on the bottles. Feeling the vibe of the place. As always, he's kind of nervous. First of all, because it's a bar and he doesn't like bars. And second of all, the situation and the strangeness of the whole place.
Emily is beginning to, like, she doesn't seem to take in the atmosphere that much, or, well, a little maybe, but she seems to quite deliberately and quite focused just begin to go through the place, go through this bar, and she seems to be somewhat meticulously rummaging through everything and just search the place essentially. Would it be?
I think if I'm assuming everyone's going to be investigating, looking around. So if each player could just give me a roll, and this would
Which investigation?
Yeah, hold on, I have it written down.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, wits investigation, but -2 because of the decay and just the mess.
And if I have I do have a specialty.
Yep.
Would this apply here?
I'd need to look up what your specialty is. Oh wait, I've got your sheet in front of me, so I can look it up. Nice. I don't. Oh wait, if you written it down, that's fine. Yes, that would apply.
And what does that mean in this? Does it?
You +1 specialities +1 to the dice roll.
Right. Goody.
Sorry, could people tell me what their dice rolls were? I don't wasn't looking.
I rolled 4.
Okay.
4 successes. Wow. Okay.
Would I roll?
3.
Would I
Sorry.
add?
Oh, 4
my-
dice. Sorry. Okay, you rolled 4 dice.
Would I add a acute senses to this?
Yes, you would. I think it's. Yes, you
I
would.
think it says to any roll
applies.
to use your senses. So yeah, I guess.
Yes, yeah, that's fine. Acute senses would apply.
So let's see, 1, 2, 3 +2, then minus another 2.
So we have. I'm assuming Eric, that was your roll. 3 successes, Eric.
Yeah, 3
Yeah,
successes.
Okay, just want to know.
Does feral senses answer this roll? I think that just is.
No, feral senses is about detecting blood and.
Yeah.
With your kindred senses, well, acute senses is about objects. And other
Do you want me to re-roll it because I rolled 1 too many?
If
I only have 1 success.
I think, to be honest, you've all got enough successes. To be honest,
Okay, fair
enough. You've all got enough successes. It's a combined effort, and you've all reached quite high there, so that's fine.
So single success.
Okay, that's fine. I think you've at least got more than 5 successes. So that's loads. Right, so you examine the area around you. You lift and it is very creepy. I imagine all of you being quite quiet as you kind of scope the area. You lift up old menus that are dusted and sort of rotten. You lift up a glass or a bottle just to see if there's anything behind it. But a lot of the books and the paperwork have rotten away via dampness or moisture or moss. So there's not much in that regard, except the bookkeeping or anything like that. Even the money has kind of rotten away, faded. Probably not even valid anymore. It's been a long. This sort of currency has not been here for a long time, at least 10 years. But as you look, you do see signs. You see the signs of the typical Kindred club. They were designed for Kindred feeding, like remote little mazes and spots where people can, be private, have reclusive time, a chance to feed. And it's just the layout of the place. It reminds you of any Kindred club, the way it's designed. But as you look around, you do notice footsteps. You notice footprints scattered around. There have been other people here, but they seem to just walk past this place. They seem to be heading towards one direction, like another tunnel. Because you've got so many successes, I'll give you extra information. And it seems that groups of people have shuffled their way through. There are signs of like boxes or equipment going through, in and out of the area. And not only signs of boxes, but definitely like you see a metal component. As you look, you see that it's not just a component, it's quite new, somewhat fresh metal component. It's not rusted or the chrome is still quite good on it. But it seems to be like a triggering device, like a spring triggering device for traps. And that you do notice straight away. You actually recognise it and see and understand what it is. But there's definitely been a bit of activity going through here, and it's as if there is someone. But it's unique. It seems to be only going through one way, as if they're not touching anything else here. Like it's only going down one path, one way through this tunnel. Everything else is untouched. On just side notes, as you look around, you also see like signs of the old Carthain movement. Just those subtle, sort of hidden like markings of the Carthaeans of London and markings of the Carnival Party, which all of you know is one of the big parties in the Carthaeans in London. Rebellious, anarch, celebrating their beasts and the glories of being a kindred in a fair, democratic way. And these markings are everywhere, sort of hidden in blood. And actually, you do, again, the other reason why you know this place is like a kindred feeding ground is that smell of blood. It's always there. Even after all this time, it's just there. And there's certain rooms that smell of that slight spray of a victim.
Have bloodhound photos.
Yeah, just, oh yes, definitely the smell of mortal humans. It's been many years that the scent has faded. It's there, it's lingering. You know it's there. It's like walking into a slaughterhouse. You can just, you know it's a slaughterhouse. It's so obvious to you, but to others. And this is what you gain from that.
Emily just takes a stock of this and just looks at the others and just says, "So, chances are that there are probably traps either probably in both directions."
Wouldn't be surprised. So everyone keep an eye out. You don't want to step on a bear trap or something like that.
Yeah. Question is, do we have some sort of... She looks around. Well, guess it's first and foremost about... Yeah. Keeping her eyes open. And she will have a look at the corridor where the footprints are leading.
Yeah, as you follow the footsteps, it leads down quite a long tunnel, which of course it goes into like a T-junction. And it goes kind of left and right. And the footsteps do kind of spread outwards, go left and right. As you look down the tunnels, they seem to curve into more tunnels and tunnels and more tunnels and tunnels and more tunnels. Really grasp on you the sheer scale of this place, of how vast it is, how it seems there's loads of tunnels that are deliberately there to be tunnels. And you instantly understand that concept of it's a maze, it's a labyrinth, it's designed to be that way.
All right. As soon as, at the first-ish tunnel, where you begin to have a branching out, Emily will just stop and wait for the other two and just say, "So, do we take the long route about this? I don't suggest that we split up in this place."
Of course not. That would be stupid. This place is designed to be a maze, I heard. So,
Keep to the right?
yeah. Anyone of you got a knife?
He literally holds up his hand, which is claws.
Mark just this corner with a 1.
He'll tally it.
And Emily will make note of it in her notebook. And she will begin to start drawing a map.
Okay. As you do that and mark the 1, you do notice on the wall, just before you enter this sort of labyrinth, there are other marks, other numbers. 1, 2, 3. The question mark, someone writing, "Where am I? What's going on? Help." It just seems to be all these markings on the wall as you're just about to enter this place.
In which case, God, he will. use he will be intelligent. This is where the one dot on computers comes in handy because he knows what's an optimal password to use. So he'll use a combination of letters and numbers. He'll just put JK1 because that's
JK1. Okay.
JK1, and then he'll use JK.
Okay, no, fair enough.
JK2, JK3, because it's there's more variance in letters, and they're also easier to remember.
And,
right. Okay. Yeah.
Emily will also take out a glow stick, break it, and just throw it on the ground.
As you're doing this, and as you're kind of just about to take that first step down this kind of tile system, this fast tile system, as soon as you take that step, you feel it. That your beast immediately yaks up. It's somewhat cowering, as if it's trying to force itself out and force itself in. And this is a sensation. I think only perhaps Eric, you definitely have felt this before.
All right.
I think the other two, Emily, you would have felt this before as well, because working with the Crimson Council, you would have felt this. And this is the feeling of entering a kindred's domain. And not just their domain, their blood domain. They have marked this space as theirs. This is their feeding ground, their home, and you are an intruder. And the beast senses it, realizes it, and is somewhat fearful. And in order to enter, we're going to have to do a roll. So this will represent how your characters react to this. Exceptional success, you may enter normally without any further dues. Success means you may enter, but you suffer -2 penalty. And failure would mean you have to spend a willpower just to enter this territory. So we'll go to the dice. So this will be your composure plus your blood potency.
Okay. I'll actually spend a willpower on this to get 3 extra dice.
What is an exceptional success? How many is that?
Cost you willpower.
5 plus successes.
I'm going to say no willpower expenditure on this because it's just about this someone's territory.
I will have to spend a willpower point.
Let's see. Composure plus blood potency, right? Oh, I have to spend a willpower point as well. Well, I guess I am spending willpower.
Yeah,
spend a willpower point.
Okay, it just crashed on me, so I didn't quite get what people were rolling.
That was composure plus potency, right? That's what you wanted us to roll?
Yeah, it is simply composure plus blood potency.
I needed to spend a willpower because I failed.
Okay. Eric, did you fail as well?
I've succeeded.
Oh, you've succeeded. So you may enter normally, but you suffer -2. There are any dice rolls here because it's just... you're not meant to be here. We'll go to reactions in a minute, but it's just you're not meant to be here. This is a place not your beast does not like. Emily, what was your role successes?
She failed as well, so you spend.
You unfortunately have to spend a willpower point as well. So make note of that. So character reactions as you enter this place. All of you suffer -2 to any future dice rolls while here, and you +2 to any frenzy rolls. -2 to any resist frenzy rolls while here because your beast just doesn't want to be here. He wants to get out. He wants to escape.
The two gangrel will enjoy that.
Oh yes. So we'll go through as you all enter here.
Well, Jonathan will act as if almost like it's kind of chill runs up his spine. Maybe it's just this sort of gangrel mindset that you're kind of conditioned to acknowledge the territory of another and respect it. So there is a sort of point of where he just kind of stops, like his foot is kind of on the boundary but doesn't quite cross it, and then he just forces himself to cross, squinting, closing his eyes and kind of furrowing his brow and wrinkling his nose and just pushing forward.
James will he'll shake his head and just go in, and as he pushes through that threshold, he will shake a little bit, almost like he gets a chill down his spine, and he'll just continue after Jonathan.
And Emily will just actually Emily will just like she seems to tense up, but she doesn't seem to react that much to it in her face or like shake. She just seems to tense more and just seems quite focused on the task at hand.
Okay, and as you that one step, you all know it, you all feel it. It took so much effort just to make that one step to force. It's like a force field stopping you, but you push forward. You force yourself forward, and your beast is so on edge. Doesn't like being here. This isn't your place. This isn't where you should be. There's something here that owns this place. The smell fills your nostrils, that smell of territory that's marked, blood that's marked the walls. But you do instantly recognize the individual here. There's a smell of that effeminate, a female sort of smell. And the smell of a Nosferatu, definitely. That reek, that pungent odor, that smell of a foulness that comes with the Nosferatu just whiffs around on the wind, on the blood marks on the wall. And you proceed to the right side of the tunnel and carry on down. And of course, as you go, it's just a vast network of tunnels that connect more tunnels and more tunnels and more places and doorways and pipes. And you see before you like old service stations for like underground tube lines or old warehouse stations. They've not seen any kind of contact or living contact for at least 40, 50 years. You see posters dating from old calendars dating back to 1950s, 1960s. And it seems to just go on and on. And we'll do a roll, and this will be a combined roll for everyone. Your successes do matter. So this will be everyone, if you could do me a wits, survival or investigate, whatever is your higher feature, but -4. Because this is a confusing labyrinth of madness.
God.
So it's minus like.
Yeah, it's wits plus survival or investigate.
-4 includes the initial penalty, right?
-4 is the penalty. That's the penalty.
Okay, yeah. -4. Because else it would be -6, and then
No, it's just -4.
I've got one. I actually got one more dice. I think one more die.
Okay, I will trust you in that matter if you say you've got one more dice.
Oh, the specialty, but never mind.
3, 4.
Okay. So
no, never mind. That wouldn't apply actually. So
6. Because this is another kindred summit, you said it was marked with blood, right?
Yes.
So I can.
You can. I must admit, if you have acute sense. Oh no, you can't. If someone has the bloodhound merit,
yeah,
they sense the blood mark. I think there is one person here with that.
Yeah, that's me. Bloodhound.
You both have it. Okay, you both have it. Sorry, Eric, did you have it or am I?
Yeah, I have it.
Okay. You have it as well. Sorry, yes. Okay, so you can both. Let's do these rolls first, and then we'll do those rolls separately. So if you can give me your wits, survival or investigate, whatever's higher, -4.
Right, I'll bump willpower into this as well.
Okay, please mark the willpower usage for your character sheets because I can't be bothered.
Yeah,
I do. Yeah.
Oh wow, 3 successes from our other individual here.
That's me.
Oh, nice.
Doing so well.
Until we get to combat.
4 successes.
4 successes. Wow, okay.
Spend the willpower, I'm down to 3.
There's that willpower as well, so you're down to 3, yes.
3 successes.
So can I get your total successes from all of you, please?
1 from me.
Right, 1 from
3 from me.
3 from Eric. Jonathan?
4 from me, so I think it's 8 total.
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah, that's 8. That's very good. That's actually quite good. You only will die slowly, quickly.
Does the dog that get to roll? Because he's technically a survivalist. He would get 6 dice too.
I'm going to give you 2 extra. Yeah, 2 extra dice. I'll give you 2 extra dice because of
Okay, thank you.
if you do get like 10 or higher, it will matter.
I roll additional 2d10 and I got a 10.
All right, 10. It's a success and it explodes.
Yeah.
Oh, is it a 9? Yeah, I think it's 8. No, wait. You got
It's a 7.
Just a
Oh.
7 on
9.
that.
So
9. Okay, 10 would have meant something, but you just got under that with a 9. 9 successes in total. So you spend a long time searching these tunnels, and it's so confusing. It just complexes. You feel your heads are kind of blurring, and your minds are kind of. Have we been here before? I'm sure we've been here before. And actually, you've marked your way as you go along, as you would. The symbols, the writing you've written down, reference 2, reference 3, reference 4 letters, but you find yourself like walking around in circles. You find yourself in dead ends. You find yourself in a storage room with a skeleton, and thinking, "Why is the skeleton here?" But as you turn, the skeleton's gone, and you're down another long corridor, and you're all kind of like bumping into each other and walking away from each other. And it's so confusing. It's so maddening that your mind is blurred with the moments of the past and the future. That where you've stepped is where you're going, and where you're going is where you've stepped. But at some point, you kind of you hear that music box, that sound, the music. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. It's just there in the background, lingering, and you kind of proceed towards it. And as you go through these tunnels, more condensed tunnels, more brick-like tunnels, less pipes, less manufacturing, less industrial. So it's more brickwork, older, maybe more ancient. I'm not sure. But as you go, you see markings on the walls. And as you do, these markings say, like, no gods here, just demons. And you see before you, you see the symbols of the old Carthains. You see banners floating. And it's as if there's a wind breathing at them as they flap. But these banners are Carthain with their markings, but of the carnival party. But they seem to have been torn, dredged in blood, and you see like handprints, red handprints, like sort of scattered all along them. And then you see the words written in old and new and in foreign, in all kinds of languages, like the blood gang, the blood prince, the blood thief. These symbols, these words are scattered all around you. Very old symbols, very old blood, but it's still potent. It's still there. It still has that sense of power to it. A sense of, oh, it gets your beast excited. That sense, and you hear fighting. You hear swords swinging. You hear the sound of blood spilling. You smell it. You can taste it almost. It's that feeling all kindred have deep down, that sense of battle, that sense of dominance, of power. It edges you slightly, just tantalizes you on your lips, on your tongue, up your nostrils. And as you proceed, that smell of old blood, the smell of ancient blood scattered around you. And at this point, you will enter like a sort of a plain, sort of brick-like tunnel, and you'll see something moving. You'll see something moving in a direction, and a sense of a heartbeat, that sense of a person moving. But we'll go to your character reactions before this happens. So how do our players feel about this place?
Jonathan focuses less on the banners and more on the sensations that he's receiving. Soaking it all in, not really kind of tuning a lot of other things out. But when he sees the kind of bloody hands on the banners, he edges more closely towards them to see if he can identify what they are.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. We're going to do that roll earlier with Bloodhound. I did forget. So if Eric and Jonathan, if you can do your Bloodhound detection rolls, and I believe that is a composure, and it's under blood tasting.
It's wits composure, yeah.
I think it's composure and wits. A simple roll, and whether success is an exceptional success.
Freaking love
The idea, this is what you would taste, but you have the Bloodhound bear, so you can smell it, so you know exactly.
Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Oops.
Oh, an 18. That's a good dice.
And a D10 as well. Oh,
Oof.
is that a reroll? Does that explode?
Sorry, what was the? I get confused because I don't know who to. So I'm assuming
I'm
two
the one.
successes, 2 9s.
Yeah, I'm the one who doesn't have a name.
Okay, right. So 2 9s and 3 successes there. So that's
this could be an exceptional. No.
No, okay.
So close.
There was another 10. You rolled a 10, so that's. Oh, it's
That's
4
1, 2,
successes.
3,
You know what?
four.
I'll give it to you anyway because that's a lot of success.
Okay, I'll gain the obsessed condition if I do because I have acute senses and that's a drawback.
Oh no, we'll ignore that. Oh no, that could be interesting. If you're up for it, I will let you have the exceptional. If you want to have the obsessed condition, you don't have to take it. You just get a normal success. But this is you're smelling another kindred's vitae and you become obsessed by it. So that's
just double checking.
For simple stories or RP tanks, you'll definitely get bonus XP if you do that.
I'm just quickly reading up on the rules for it.
Well, we'll go to Eric while you're looking up the rules.
Okay, yeah, I'll take it.
You'll take it, okay, right? So
it will last for 4 or 5 nights. It'll be
4 or 5 nights. I don't think it'll be that relevant. It's just for the scene. We'll go to Eric, your PC, and his reaction. So you smell the blood, you smell the vitae. We'll apply this to the banner roll as well.
All right.
So Eric, you smell the markings. Now these are the markings of a kindred who's marking their territory. And of course, their blood is used to mark it. It's poured around the territory. And you're aware of this. You've seen this practice done before. You've entered these territories before. And this kindred, you sniff the blood, and it's old. It's been there for a long time. It's not been updated for a while, but definitely Nosferatu. It's that stench. It's an artificial smell. It's the smell of something very synthetic, very hard, not human whatsoever. And there's a taste or an aspect of sadness to it, an aspect of a kindred who is of blood potency 2, a young'un, but has been around for a while. You sense a bit of sleep and diablerie in the blood mixture, and you smell. It's just sadness. Sadness is overwhelming in this blood. It sticks to the back of your tongue, and you feel it go all the way down your nostrils and your orifices. And it just, there's definitely a sense of sadness. And you may ask one question. I'll give it this way. Ask one question about the blood. So,
how recently has it fed? Can I ask that?
how recently has it what? Sorry?
Fed.
Fairly recently. And it's fed on human blood. Not animal, human, definitely. Sense that. So we'll go back to our other character, Jonathan. The exact same expression, the exact same thing comes to you.
I just put in chat active -2 penalty because of the domain.
Yes, that's a very good point. Yeah. Sorry. Please remind. We have to remind ourselves -2 to any dice rolls.
Yeah.
from now on. But yeah, there's something about the blood that just draws you. Oh, it's such a unique taste, a unique flavor. It's a sadness, a heavy sadness that's so human, so mortal, so, oh my God, you've forgotten what it's like to feel like this. The taste gives you that sensation of a lover leaving, the betrayal of a family member, the sensation of a human, mortal. And you obsessed by that. It's that reminder of your humanity that is just so absent in these cold nights, these cold times. And that's your obsession. That's your key to this blood. And you're drawn to this blood and you want that flavor. And you perhaps even lick the wall just to try to sort of taste it a bit more to get the flavor. The other PCs, of course, will notice this as he does this. This is doing the whole madness of you trying to go through them.
I'll go up to him and ask, what are you doing?
I can't actually do it properly. But he just kind of emits something of a kind of low feral growl that's kind of hard to gauge. Because of Emily's blood sympathy, she could probably recognize some degree of melancholy within it. And kind of just slowly, kind of just in a frustrated fashion, just kind of tears himself away from the banner, probably snags on his claws, and probably ends up taking a piece of it with him.
Oh, definitely. You even tempted to wrap the banner around you. You carefully just take a piece instead. It's that kind.
It is kind of wrapped around part of his claws. It is probably, yeah. As it gets caught in his claws, he'll probably just wrap it around his wrist or something, or just put it in his pocket or something. He wouldn't throw it away.
But for both PCs, those are the sensors of the Kindred. But the banner itself and the other blood hand marks, they're very old blood marks for Kindred, long gone. And it's that similar bloodline, Nosferatu, a bit of Deva, some Gangrel in there. And it's just as potent, violent, angry. You smell the beast in the blood. You smell it very deeply. And yes, Jonathan, you may ask one question for Kindred that blood it belongs to.
One? Do I get to ask more of this exceptional or just the one?
Oh, exceptional. I think exceptional does bring even more actually. Sort of, the blood lineage, as it were. I keep losing this page. It's a page from blood testing. I keep losing.
Kindred senses.
It does have rules about exceptions.
Yeah, I can just discern extensive details. It's page 91. It's in a sidebar.
91. I just went past it. Taste of the blood. Blood exceptional says you can discern extensive details from the blood, including whether the blood is from a ghoul, what clan, infections, disease, ate recently, homos, and disease, cause of death, and find it as a storyteller suggesting. Yeah, you definitely, like I say, you get the whatever I've just explained to Eric. You get the same knowledge, but I'm happy to answer a question. If you have.
I guess because he's obsessed with it, his question would be where.
In that point, you just, as you taste it and smell it, that sense of the music, that music box, it's as if it's tied to the blood. There's a connection. There's something about the music and the blood that are connected. They both have that tinge of sadness, that the right note, the right sort of rhythm. It just seems to both be fluid, as if the blood is reflecting the music. This is really intense stuff. You've never sort of tasted or sensed this sort of before, and it does overwhelm you quite a lot. And I think it is somewhat obvious to our other PCs that Jonathan is obsessed by this. Mesmerized.
I'm guessing that Emily is getting kind of affected as well, due to the blood sympathy at some point, like on some level. Obviously not.
Yes, I'll give you that as an automatic. You definitely sense something wrong with Jonathan. Jonathan's not there. blood is kind of whispering to you that something's.
Emily will just go over to Jonathan and just say, "Can you tell where it is? Where he or she is?"
He acts a little bit on instinct. He kind of his claw scrapes the wall ever so slightly, kind of gives off that sort of kind of like almost chalk on a whiteboard, but a bit less loud and perhaps just as jarring. And kind of just begins heading down to whether he can track it from without really answering your question or rather answering it for his actions.
Emily keeps a fairly close eye on her blood brother, and but she keeps like 5 meters behind him, and just lets him take front. And she looks, she keeps a fairly watchful eye on him.
He's kind of talking to both animals in a somewhat extensive discussion, just saying it's close. Was a person once.
As
human.
Sorry. Yeah, sorry.
He's just kind of muttering.
Okay.
A little bit, perhaps a little bit, slightly disconcertingly to Squeaky and to his dog.
Oh, actually, Squeaky is not there at the moment. He's kind of gone for a bit. He's lost in the maze as well. He's kind of lost for the moment. Even your dog, but your dog is loyal. It's got the blood sympathy. It knows where you are. But at some point, yes, all the characters see movement. You hear a heartbeat. That smell of blood. It's as if it's there and gone. It's very quick. We're very close. You all sense it. You all know it. And it's just like up on the right, as if something is just spread or move very quickly up on the right-hand side. And you sense this. You know this.
John will immediately start stalking it. If it's relevant to his obsession, I'm happy. Well, regardless, it's just that modifies the rolls, but I'm happy to roll.
Yeah, I think either way, you're all headed. This person's come across, and it is relevant to your obsession because Jonathan, you've become a bit of a guiding rod. You're leaning or walking towards where the music is, as if you hear it louder than others or more potent than others. You're kind of like just slowly moving towards where the music is. And it's in the direction of where the individual was moving quickly with a heartbeat. Blood.
John's pace begins to pick up somewhat. Not running, but his walking pace becomes quicker, a bit less cautious, a bit more volatile.
Okay. We'll say you speed up. You kind of start to really quicken pace towards this person, towards the direction of the music. Our other PCs will see this, their reactions. I think one of our PCs is not there. Emily, your reaction?
She doesn't change much, but she tries to keep up with him. At this point, she's getting ready for something to go down fairly soon, and her fingers begin to change. She's growing claw-like fingers now.
Okay, so that is a blood point, and
yes,
make note of it, and then we'll continue. Eric, your character James, he sees Jonathan going forward towards this person or something.
Yeah, he kind of lurches almost.
Yeah, he lurches. He's somewhat mesmerized, hypnotized.
He'll James will more or less roll his eyes and follow, but he'll be really wary.
Okay. And James, it's weird, James. You're as if you are more. The other two PCs seem more confused, more. I'm not sure what's happening around them, but you seem to. It's as if you're waking from a dream. You're snapping out of it. It's as if the bizarreness of this maze is not that bizarre, but it's as if it's someone's trying to force it upon you. But your beast is pushing out. It's kind of forcing whatever this confusion upon you, and it's whether it's your blood, it's your blood potency, or kindred beast, but it's just saying no, and it's working, and you're kind of waking up from this. But we'll proceed to our other our PCs as they go towards this person, this individual, and as soon as they kind of make that turning or just turn that corner, they find themselves suddenly just enter this room. Enter this bizarre, weird room, again, very decayed, very old, but it's just filled with these doors and filled with this table that's that's just sat there silently. And these doors are very old, very rotten, very worn. There's even a hole in the floor that seems to seep into more sort of tunnels or pipes. And each of these doors has like a number. And there are 5 doors, and they're numbered 1 to 5. And as you look, they do, some doors react to some of you more than other doors. But our characters seem to be stuck in this room, as if they didn't even enter, or did they? Had they? You're not sure. You're there now. 5 doors.
Quietly, Emily just looks around and just says, I'm slightly in the mood for not taking any of those, as she looks at the 5 doors.
Does John still have the scent?
It's coming from one of these doors, but it's hard. It's so confusing. You're sure, and actually, that music is just still. It's playing louder in this room. That da 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 da. It's just louder and louder in this room. It echoes throughout the room. Eric, could you please check your PM message from me?
All right.
But you're left with this room, and your senses are confused. It's weird, and actually, if you wait longer, the room does start to spin, and the doors start to spin around you.
Emily won't wait that long.
Okay.
Look at the others and just say, so we take number 3?
Number 3 is a good choice. Number 2 is a bad choice.
When Emily, she will just, when she goes over to the door, she will just stand next, like on the wall, and just turn the doorknob or whatever's there.
Yeah.
And have the door open when she's not standing in front of it.
The door opens and it creaks as it opens in a very loud manner. As it opens, it reveals like a room, like a blackness, but there's something there in the distance, something that's just out of sight. But before you can kind of react or move against it, you're kind of all drawn in to the room, as if the room envelops you more than you move to the room. And you find yourself suddenly in an arena, like a massive blood pit filled with kindred and ghouls surrounding you. This place is ancient and bloody and gore, and you hear the sounds of violence, you hear the sounds of fighting, blood. To some people, this is very familiar. To others, somewhat foreign. But it's that sound of combat, the sound of beast upon beast, tooth against tooth, claw against claw. And as you're seeing this, you just hear the voices crying out, Only the strong live. Blood for the Blood Prince. As this epic scene is before you. And as you look towards the stage, towards the kind of combat, you look into the pit, and before you, you see Jonathan. You see yourself atop a mound of corpses, a mound of bodies, kindred and ghoul and mortal alike. And on top of the corpses, you are held with the broken body of Emily in front of you, as if you're about to pronounce the final stroke, that final blow. And a voice speaks out in the darkness. Eyes appear above you in the shadow, and merely whispers, "Only one will answer my call." And with that, the door shuts. You're back in the room, as if you were never there, or you were there. You're not sure. What was that? And you're both, all of you are still in the room.
Emily seems, well, I mean, we don't know exactly how long it was, but like she seems visibly off-put by that room. Or maybe it's a reaction to it. Something bothers her, like that's fairly clear.
Jonathan's greater concern seems to be with the voice rather than what he saw, although it does disturb him. It doesn't exactly list on the top of his priorities given his current mental state.
So before the scene, you're both just being quite awkwardly quiet in the corner of the room. James, you noticed this between the two characters, that they just seem to be as if that never happened, what that you just saw before you. Whether you may comment or note on that, I'll leave it to you. Otherwise, we can try another door.
He'll look to, between the both of them and say, "So you're not going to comment that? All right. Door number one, then."
Honestly, in this place, you can tell like something's bothering her, but you get the sense that, like, again, Emily is so terrible at hiding her emotions, and in social gatherings, like, you get the clear sense that this is not really nothing to do with Jonathan at this point. She doesn't seem to be bothered by him, or maybe what she saw, but something else. And in regard, she just says, "This place that has confused us, that warps where you are, time. I'm not going to put too much faith in what I see and hear in here. Honestly."
That's that's a good thing. Honestly, it feels like I'm waking up right now. This door. And he says, and he just goes to the first door and opens it up.
Well done. That's exactly the door I wanted you to open, and yes, you've opened it. So you open the door, and again, it's that same thing, as if the door opens and sucks you in. It draws you into a screen, a performance of something. And you open the door, and you see before you a room. I don't have the image. I wish I did, but I couldn't find it. You see yourself before you, a room, and my God, this is a room that stinks of power, blood, and death. And before you, you see the shadowy creature figure that's sat upon a throne. It's made of bones, skulls, mortar, flesh. It seems this powerful figure. He reeks of the abnormal, reeks of that sin of consuming souls. And on this throne, two other revenant characters, not kindred, but wild beasts of the curse, were bound by chains, seem to be acting like dogs, guarding this individual's throne. And he's looking upon these two other kindred before him. and he is shouting. He is condemning. He screams, I need more bodies. I don't care where you find them. I have the black skull, and I will use it. The army of the dead will rise and crush the shard. So is the will of the Blood Prince. And with that, these two figures kind of bow or nod and walk away. But James, you see one of these figures and you recognize them instantly. You recognize them as your sire. You recognize your sire, and it's as if your sire recognizes you and looks to you and nods and goes and whispers, a faint whisper, as if keeping it secret. She betrayed us both. And with that, this image, this potent, this scene disappears, and you're back in the room. You seem to be absorbed back in the room. You're all witness to this. You're all aware of what's just happened.
She just, like, now Emily just turns in the same fashion as he just did and just want to comment on that a little, and she just, never mind. And she just turns to door number 4. Let's just get the fuck out of this place.
Door number 4, and unless anyone wants to talk anymore, door number 4 opens. Oh yeah, sorry, Karen.
He'll actually say, basically, that was the Blood Prince.
Who is a guy from here? Or
Sorry, I used the wrong word there. Not Blood Prince, a Blood Thief. Sorry,
Blood Thief.
Blood Thief is the correction.
Yeah.
And everyone knows the Blood Thief was in charge of the Carthains doing the uprising in London before the Night of Storms. Sorry, I correct myself.
Well, that's ominous. Emily just comments as she just heads for the door. Ready for another thing? And as she opens door 4.
Okay, as you open door 4, you are... It's not the same as before. This door opens to just a room, a plain room. You're not sucked into it. You're not absorbed into it. You're just simply aware that it's another room. And it seems to be like an empty underground kind of warehouse. It's full of boxes and items and other things. But the one thing it is filled of, after pause and laugh, it seems to have these mannequins, or these old sort of pieces scattered around. And there is the music box sound that emanates from a back corner of this room. And you can see lights and what looks like to be like a stage show room. You see dresses lined up, you see costumes, outfits, makeup, mirrors. They seem to be all scattered around this place. And definitely you can sense that Kindred, the entity who runs this place, the entity that controls this place, is beyond this. Definitely.
So Jonathan begins to move, I'm guessing.
Yep.
Lord, as ever.
Huh?
Yes, you're just you're drawn by the blood. It's her blood. It's that sadness, that song, the sort of it's from a very charming kind of music box that seems to just echoing. And Jonathan, you're mesmerized by this as you just keep going forward. But other two PCs, what do they do?
I stand by the door.
Emily will just point after Jonathan.
John goes through the door.
She points at the sheriff and then points towards him. Emily will follow again, a little bit behind Jonathan. Let's try to stay hidden.
He's not really communicating much at this point. When he does talk, it's more like he's talking to himself.
As our characters... Yep.
Dave?
Yep.
As I see that, I'm just going to draw my gun and cluck one in the head.
Fair enough.
And I shoot one in the head.
You're kind of both going into the room. And as you do, suddenly, James just fires a bullet from his gun. And it hits one of the mannequins directly in the head. And these mannequins, they don't have like legs or arms or anything. They just have torsos. They're simple mannequins. But as soon as you do it, the one cries out and it bleeds. And it flops to the floor. And it gives you it's a body. It's a human body that has been horribly scarred and manipulated and tortured. And as soon as this happened, the other mannequins in the room start moving, screaming, start sort of going and sort of retreat. Some will try to attack you as you've done this. So we're going to have like 3 turns of combat. So what happens?
Okay. This will probably draw John's attention because this is
no, you're not that bound. You're bound enough. So if everyone could give me this will be like 3 mannequins attacking you. So if everyone could give me an initiative roll, so that's your dexterity and composure plus a d10.
Dexterity, composure plus d10.
Yeah, plus a d10, and that represents your
and plus celerity, right?
No, not plus celerity.
Okay.
You may spend celerity points to
advance yourself up. Right.
Yes, but that's a blood point to do that. So we'll work that out later.
But doesn't it like the?
No, it doesn't. It only adds to your defense, but you may spend a blood point to be the top of the initiative queue, which is
all right. I'm still at 14.
Oh Jesus, I think it's higher than these lot. Hold on.
I am at 14 as well.
10. Oh, they got 8 plus 3, so there is 10. So it got 8, 11 from these individuals. So who's the highest?
What's your Emily? What's your initiative modifier?
+7.
+7. All right. I think I'm +6. So you go first.
Okay. These things do not have arms, right?
They appear not to have arms to you, but James is well aware. Unfortunately, they have arms, limbs, knives, cutlery, all sorts of things. But unfortunately, you don't. You just see this mannequin charging you.
Fair enough. Emily's just gonna try and give damage to this thing. Put it out of its misery.
By the way, to remind characters, you may just do a simple attack, which is strength plus whatever attribute. You may grapple, which is strength plus whatever attribute, and you may dodge, where you can do it any time, and that is a roll for your defense, and etc. And you may spend a blood point at any point doing anything, basically, to spend a blood point.
All right. She's just going to do a simple attack.
Simple attack. So that will be your brawl.
That is 4
plus your strength plus vigor.
Yeah.
Minus this thing's defense, which is 2.
And -2 for because.
Okay, I'll roll again.
Oh, yes, very good point. You're in another Kindred domain, so it's an additional -2. So it's a -4 in total to any attack dice rolls.
Okay. I rolled again 5 dice, and it gave me the exact same amount.
That's quite funny. So that's enough. And actually, these things aren't very durable. They're actually quite.
And it's +1 lethal, right?
Yes, you are correct. You are doing lethal damage. This thing comes at you. It tries to jump at you, Emily. But you just make one swipe, and you like cut its chest open. And as you do, it just screams in this kind of violent, like, and then scurries away on its back. as if it's hovering, as if its legs are multiplied, as if it seems to scurry away into the darkness. But we still have another two that are coming at the other players. So we'll go to the next initiative line.
That's me.
Okay.
Well, I'll just fire my my big ass gun at one of them.
So it doesn't apply defense. So this is simply your dexterity plus firearms.
And my specialization in handguns minus
Yeah,
2.
extra dice.
That's so that's 4 lethal.
Yes, 4 lethal. Bam! You just shoot, and that's enough as well. That's these things aren't. So yeah, you just fire another shot, goes straight through the chest, and this thing has that similar reaction. It kind of its mouth opens very widely as if like to react to what you've just done, and hisses and spits at you. But it's like a spider. It kind of suddenly just draws itself upwards into the ceiling, into like as if a web has just formed, and it kind of just lifts up into the ceiling and crawls away into a dark corner. And we have one more, which will be pouncing on Jonathan.
I'm gonna spend a blood point and just shoot that one as a reaction. Into
Sorry,
celerity.
you want an extra celerity and try and shoot it again as it's trying to.
Yep.
Yeah, that's fine. So you may
couldn't
spend one
attack as
extra.
part of the celerity action.
No, you may spend a point of celerity to perform one extra action per turn. And if he wants to do that, he can do that. So that would be a blood
attack with it.
Yeah, no, you can. You can attack. You may perform one extra action per turn. It doesn't matter what that action is. It's just you may perform an
But
extra
no more than one, so you can't have
no more than one though. No more than one. So you may spend a blood point to shoot again to represent how fast your shooting skill.
Nah, you know what? I'm not gonna.
You're not going to? Okay,
No.
that's entirely up to you. So we'll go to Jonathan as this thing is just about to kind of come towards you and charge you.
Just looking up predatory auras.
We've done those rolls earlier. I know exactly what you want to do. And that's the roll we did earlier. I did that as just a one-off kind of roll to represent the whole scene.
He'll probably just slash it. Specialty and claws. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4.
You should have enough. It's basically as long as you cause enough lethal damage to these things, they'll run away.
Yeah, I think I'm just rolling 4d10.
Oh, right. They may not be kindred. That's
Yeah, this is the thing. They're not kindred. They seem to be affected by your claws like a human.
Yep, I do 2 lethal to it.
Sorry, just 2 lethal.
Just 2.
2 lethal. It's enough, but it's gonna go at you. It's gonna go at you. It's gonna try to jump at you and do some damage. So we'll do a roll. Hashtag repeat. You've done very well, by the way, because these things would have all pounced on you. Thankfully, someone has recognized they were ghouls. So that's all good. So it's just 4d10. Your defense, Jonathan, just to apply to this. We got about 6 dice. What's your defense, Jonathan? Is it just 2?
Yeah, just 2.
I see. It's 4. I forgot. Warning repeat counts. What does that mean?
That's weird. Did you put the hash?
Yeah, I put a hashtag. Repeat.
I can just roll for you.
Or yeah, let me do it one more time. It doesn't work. No, this thing. Yeah, it tries to do something to you, but it fails. It's like it's trying to bite you. It's trying to sort of bite your face, bite your limbs, bite wherever it can, but it just doesn't do it. And you push it aside. You sort of you hit it. You cause lethal damage, and it scurries away. It scurries away as if trying to protect something. And I think you'll gain this as if these are things trying to protect something, but it doesn't. And in the distance, these things have gone, as if they vanished into the shadows, into the hidden sort of area. Eric, your character is still aware of these people are still here. You know they're still here. You sense it. You know they're there. But they seem to be making a path for you. They seem to be allowing you entry. And you see before you a creature, a kindred. And of course, Jonathan, you instantly recognize this. This is that music box sound. This is the creature that you've been sensing, dreaming of throughout your whole sort of journey or predicament. And to others, you see, hold on, I had an image. I had a really cool image and I can't bloody find it. It was here. It's been deleted for some reason. I apologize for this. So, yeah, but you
can wait.
Yeah, sorry, I apologize.
No, it's not a problem.
This is really bad of me. We'll go to your reactions. And as basically, as you head towards this figure, you see like a makeup room. You see before you like a setup for stage performance. And this individual seems to be just singing to herself through a music box that's playing on the cabinet, on the chest, on the desk that she's at. There seems to be this large mirror that she's looking at that looks back to you. And she's just singing this song that goes with the music. And it's going, what do you see when people gazing at me? You see a doll on a music box that's wound by a key. How can you tell? I'm under a spell. I'm waiting for love's first kiss. And this just repeats. This song just repeats and repeats. But the ghouls, the entities that seem to be fighting you, just give way to you to get to this individual. And I'll leave it to the characters' thoughts as they approach this back room, this area where this individual is singing.
Oh. John, as soon as he hears this tune so clearly and looks up to see this person, he stops kind of mid-lurch, points with his claw and just says, you're the one.
At this point, James will facepalm.
That's good. Sorry, I'm still trying to look for the damn file. But either way, yes. Emily, your reaction to all of this?
Emily is just having her eyes fixed on this person, to really wanting not to
Here we go. Found it.
let it out of her sight. But she will, like, are the ghouls or the mannequins, are they within, like, are they right next to us?
Yeah, it's weird. As the mannequins, as you get closer, it's as if an illusion is slowly evaporating around you. And you see the fact that these aren't mannequins. They're people. They're mortals. But obviously ghoul, there's that sense of the blood about them, the kindred blood about them. But there's my God, there's a madness to it. They are all like been surgically altered. Like some of their limbs have been removed. Some of their genitalia has been removed. They are naked, yet you're not sure if they're male or female. They are all horribly just mutilated. Even by kindred standards, this is just a horror thing to see. And before you, you see this individual, a person who from the back looks very pleasant, wonderful, mortal, in a dress or fine skin, but in the mirror, the reflection, you see this plastic thing, this bald individual, an entity that's made of synthetic flesh. It's as if a doll was made real, is this person. And she's just fixated on this mirror, looking at this mirror. And she seems to only acknowledge you or talk to you via the mirror. And as you get close to her, she just simply goes, "Ah, kindred guests, it's been so long. I apologize. Please sit down. We have some time before they get here.
Before who gets here?
Them.
Them who?
They always come. They
Don't
come.
play the fucking pronoun game with me. Tell me who.
She's honestly just confused and is unsure. And it's as if she's mesmerized by the mirror. She can't escape it. She can't look at you beyond it. And she's just staring at it, going, hey, they're them, the ones that always come. They test themselves. They allowed me here. They want me here. They need me here to make them stronger. 3 + 3 + 3
is 9.
As soon as if you do say that out loud, the word 9, she screams. Forbidden word. Forbidden word. We don't speak that word.
Are they the enlightened?
No. No. Naughty word. Bad word. No. 3 + 3 + 3. We don't allow that here. They come. They test themselves. Redemption for me. I'm allowed redemption. I was spared to allow redemption. But I must suffer. They come
People
to
aren't
test
spared.
themselves. Sorry, as she's speaking, Jonathan, you are just mesmerized by her. And it's not just her. She's a Nosferatu. She's so foul. By the way, for every PC, she's foul, rotten. It's synthetic, industrial stink comes from her. But Jonathan, you see below that. You see that sort of sadness. You see that subtlety of humanity that she's trying to obtain. And you're just drawn to her. And at this point, a familiar voice speaks to you, Jonathan. It's the voice of, Sir, snap out of it, Rat King. She's evil. I will keep guard, but snap. Come on. You're the Rat King. She's the evil one. She eats us.
Man, I don't really know how Jonathan's going to react here. No, I want to be the Rat King.
Is it the weird princess in the mirror or the rat that wants to be king? What's your choice?
You will feel through this blood sympathy, the strong sense. You almost hear like a few words, like pull yourself together. Like you get that very strong, like don't let her. You get that fairly clear, and you can feel that Emily is fairly focused and fairly alert about the situation.
I think I'm happy to do a kind of role here. So we'll simply say, Jonathan, your resolve plus your blood potency plus your blood sympathy, which is 2, and plus 1 because of this rat that's trying to help you as well. But minus, I'm going to say 2 because of the blood potency of this individual, and an additional -2 because you're in her domain. So it's her blood that's falling. So -4 in total. No, you're compelled. Even these voices, these people are trying to help you. But you're just compelled by the sadness, the melancholy, the sort of beauty of the music that's being played before you, and you're just unfortunately you can't do anything this turn for this scene. You're just simply mesmerized by the person. You're sniffing them. You actually start like tasting her, start to lick her up and down
Ew.
in front of the other PCs. It's just the flavor, the taste of her. It reminds you of the humanity you once had. And she doesn't resist. And she's actually quite happy as you do it. She seems very gentile. And you're licking her very fine features, this naked form that's pleasant,
Ew.
wonderful, firm. But in the mirror, of course, it's horrid, naked, evil, synthetic, and plastic. But you're not aware of this. But the other PCs, of course, are. And the rat individual known as oh, sire, she's taken you as so many as the others. I will keep watch. I'll keep watch. I'll make sure they don't come or arrive in time to disturb you. And I'll warn you. And I'll warn the others. And he kind of scurries off outside.
I'll raise my voice to the woman looking at the Nosferatu. Let's say it as it is, and I'll say, "Do you know of Alicia?"
Actually, yeah, she pauses. Sorry, what did you say? Elysium or?
No, Alicia, as in mother.
Ah, Alicia, yes. She just sort of pauses and looks to you via the mirror and goes, I remember her. Oh, yes, her sister. No, sister, a friend. She helped us. They framed her. They framed the mother, that's her name. The mother. She framed someone. She joined us. She forsaken her allies, her oaths. She joined the bloodfest. She fed. She ate. She devoured.
I'll close my eyes for a second and just whisper to myself, Mother, do you wish to speak to her because she doesn't listen to me?
The mother, unfortunately, is asleep.
Fuck.
It's too hard to draw her. And you're so distant as territory, so it makes it even harder to draw her to you. It's there. It's very foggy, very cloudy.
Well, I'll look to Emily. Well,
Emily just looks at her blood sibling, licking this. Like,
Gross.
she's not sure if there's anything sexual in it, but she's like a small part of her wants to take a photo, but she's not going to. But she just stands there has been standing there for a moment and is just a little distracted, just a little. But she will snap out of it and she will just look to the mirror and just say, you know what happened to our kind in this city? Most of them are gone. Almost all of them are gone. Yet you are still here.
They're all gone. They all died. My brother, the blood thief. Oh, he got so powerful, so greedy, so fulfilled. There was no end to his madness. He asked for 3 + 3 + 3. He asked for that many children. I said yes, but I spared them. I said no. I denied his blood bond. I forsaken him and said no. I spared them. 3 + 3 + 3. They escaped him. And then she came. Oh, she came. So bright. So wonderful. I didn't mind that it burned. My skin, it burned, but I welcomed her. And she forgave me. She said I could be redeemed. I had to stay here. I had to help the others, her children, the martyrs. I had to train them. I had to test them. make them stronger. They come here. Sometimes they win, sometimes I win, but they always return. They always come back. They have sent others now. The drowned, those that have proven themselves. Once dead, now reborn. Hunters they are of our kind. It's the only way I can redeem my soul. I have to teach them, make them suffer. And they become stronger every time I see them in this mirror. Sometimes they burn me. Sometimes they bless me. They're coming soon.
Is my dog trying to help me, by the way?
Your dog, actually, because your dog is so empathic or attached to you, it's not an individual, it's literally a part of you. The dog is licking her as well.
Oh.
It's unfortunately, it's that it's not, the dog is not alive, it's me, a part of you now. And unfortunately, the dog is licking her in a very, I would go really far to it humps her leg, but let's just simply say it just licks her because it's the taste of sadness, that taste of mortality, redemption. Actually, the more she speaks, the more you kind of pick up on those notes of redemption. And these are the words she speaks to the group.
Miss Stevenson, can you remove your clan friend from...
I don't know what's happening.
Can you please remove...
Jonathan, stop. Get away from her.
Do you want me to make a roll?
I think at this point you've embarrassed yourself enough. So yes, you can maneuver yourself away, but you're still drawn to her. You're still kind of, you just want that taste, that sensation. You're kind of getting semi-close to wanting to feed off her. Not there yet because you're still full of blood and you're not quite that close to frenzy. But I'll leave that up to you when that becomes an issue. Please, Ranger.
I think the notion of this humiliation in
it's about the innocence. She tastes of that humanity that you quite long miss.
Yeah, it'd be a weird contradiction because she feels of innocence, yet he would also feel horribly violated.
Yes, it's a very mixed confusion, and at the same time, the beast is asking you to feed on her to get that taste of her innocence, that taste of her humanity.
I think I might.
If you wanted to do a frenzy check, I think
I think you. No. What I was concerned with is I want. I'm trying to figure out, and this I was going to roll for it to see if he would be capable of, like, which one would win out, the obsession or the sort of violation, or whether either he'd just kind of maneuver himself away or he'd actually attempt to strike her.
Okay. So there's an anger. She makes you feel so weak and humbled, and your beast may lash out. I think to do a roll, and whether you win, I don't know. Actually, I really don't know how to roll this one. It's about whether you want to lash out on her, to feed on her, to gain that lost humanity, to gain that lost innocence, or to lash out on her because she reminds you how weak you are, how pathetic you are.
Yeah, the latter.
So it's the latter. So that's the frenzy. I think a frenzy check to the point of whether you're just going to attack this person. I want you. I want what you have, and I need it. So this would be a frenzy check that's capped by your humanity,
which is actually quite high. So
is it high?
Yeah, it's humanity 6. I'm probably more humane than her.
Sorry, all people have their humanity set of 4.
Yeah, I spent
Have you spent 2 to gain 2 dots of humanity?
Mm-hmm.
Well, fair enough. Yes, your humanity pool is a lot higher. So your frenzy checks aren't capped by that, so that's fine. Maximum dice is 6 because you're Gangle. So this is a resolve and composure roll.
-2.
Yes, unfortunately, yes, -2. You may spend a willpower point, and each willpower you point spend halts the friend and adds an additional dice level.
No, it's fine. I
Oh, 2 10s. That's and a 9, so that's 3 successes. That's fine. Everyone else present sees him about to kind of let out that beast. Like, I want to eat that. I want that taste. I want that flavor. This has gone beyond licking, beyond sucking, beyond tasting. I want to drain her. But suddenly he pulls himself together, holds himself. And I'll leave it to you, Jonathan, to describe.
He probably, after pulling himself together, would just out of reflex, just kind of violently literally violently push her, probably away from the mirror, just because of where he's situated.
Right. As you push her, as you attempt to push her, it's like hitting a brick. It's like you just hit her and it's nothing happened. It's like you push her and it's as if you just hit a brick wall, and she's just still there, staring at the mirror, immobile, unable to move.
Smash the mirror.
Well, before that happens, before our players start getting interested in that concept, suddenly a noise appears behind them. And it's the noise of Mr. Squeaky. And he seems to announce to the group, to the audience, they just sort of go, they're coming, they're coming. I said I'd warn you if they're coming. And then suddenly, squish, as a very heavy foot lands on Mr. Squeaky. A very loud, heavy boot, a combat boot. As they see before them 2 individuals, both of them dressed in what appears to be some sort of armor or heavy clothing, wielding a sword and torches amongst 2 of them. They see the group before them and going, "What is this? Others of the ilk, sinful kindred." And he says this as he scrapes of what Mr. Squishy was off his boot onto a cold slab on the floor. And they seem to acknowledge the fact you're kindred. It's as if they're aware that you're kindred. And they break open these vials that are attached to their chest and pour it over themselves and pour it over the blades in front of them and go, "Blood of the martyr, protection of the martyr. Blessed be the angel."
I'm gonna shoot him in the head.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. We'll make that all initiative. That's just simply the reaction of what's happening. So we'll go to combat as these 2 individuals with torches and swords are about to come at you. So this is initiative. So please roll your composure dexterity plus a d10. Please announce to me if you could put into chat your actual initiative number. That would be very helpful.
That's worse than before, but yeah, that's a 9 for me as well.
Oh, 9, okay.
I think I'm 10. Plus, yeah.
Okay, I'm going to copy that because I'll probably have to do it later. Oh, fuck, they rolled a 10. So they've got a 10. Okay, so if anyone can enter their initiative into the chat, okay.
Me?
Yeah, they just get the drop on you, unfortunately. They're higher than anyone in the room, so they get the drop on you. And 2 of these individuals who are wearing this kind of armor and wielding a sword and a torch, and their armor's covered in blood, and the swords are covered in this blood. And they will both try to attack you.
No, they won't. No, they won't. I will attack them because I'm spending our blood into celerity and going to the top of the initiative round.
Right, there we go. Yes, you may spend blood for celerity action and go to the top of the initiative. In which case, yes, mark that down, and you may go first, Eric.
Cool.
What do you wish to do?
I said I'm gonna shoot him in the head because I don't like him and he talks too fucking much.
All right, shooting someone in the head, it's
-3.
It's -3 because it's very difficult. Minus additional 2.
And I'm gonna spend 1 into pumping up my dexterity as well.
Okay, so you spend a blood point as well. So you spent 2 blood points so far, and you've upped your dexterity by 2.
Right.
You wait, Mr. Squeaky will come back and kill them all. Oh, very good. 2 10s, so that explodes. So 2 more dice.
So he has
That's good. That's good.
He's happy 5 lethals to the head, and he has the stunned condition. He can't act in this or next turn, I think.
Well, we have to roll for that because it's if his lethal box is filled. So 5 is his size. He's got stamina 4, so it's 8. So you've caused 5 lethal damage to him. You've made 1 big shot, and you've hit one of the hunters directly in the head and caused 5 lethal damage straight away. Which I don't know about the stunned. I don't know whether that applies. You may pass out if he suffers like the full lethal damage at the end.
A damage attack can stun the victim if it deals at least as much damage as the target size.
Right. Okay. So that's a stamina. Is it a stamina roll or?
No roll. Just.
Oh, he's stunned. Okay, fair enough. Yes, you've literally clocked that son of a bitch, and you've hit one of them directly in the head with a gunshot, and it goes right past them. No, that does. I know you've aimed it. You've aimed it so it doesn't hit the body armor. So yes, you've aimed it right at his head. He's wearing flak armor, which is the arms and the torso. So yes, no, fair enough. One of the individuals in front of you is just taken aback. Gets a gunshot that goes directly past his head. The other individual, of course, does try to approach the nearest person. Who would be the nearest person? I think Emily.
No, I would because I was standing by the door.
Right. So the other individual attacks James as he shoots one individual as they're about to approach the door, and the other individual charges and he attacks James. So James, what is your defense?
5.
Okay, now 5.
Yep.
So that's your highest of dexterity or wits plus your spell, yeah?
My dexterity and wits are both 3, plus 2.
Plus 2. Okay, right. So this individual has 8, so plus 5. So it's 3 attack dice. No, he goes for you and just misses. And he tries to attack you with the torch. And we'll do a frenzy test perhaps later.
All right.
I think when it hits you, we'll do a frenzy test. At the moment, there's torches waving. We're left with the 2 other Kindred at the moment. Emily, you're the most. Who's got the highest initiative?
I think I'm at +7. I don't know what Jonathan's plus is.
Only 5.
Jonathan, nothing.
Only 4.
You only have 5. So Emily, you go first.
Can she hold the hammer with the claws?
Yeah, you can just hit the person with a hammer. That's fine.
Yeah, because for some reason Emily's not best fond of.
I think at the moment you and Jonathan are by the Kindred at the moment, the old Nosferatu Kindred.
Yeah.
It'll probably take you a turn just to get to.
Then she will spend a blood point of celerity to move.
Right. That's fair enough.
And then strike at him.
Yeah, you spend a blood point to activate your speed or an additional action, whatever you choose, to just simply move super quick where James is, and then try to attack.
And actually, wait, I'm gonna see one thing. Oh, this is probably gonna hurt me a lot, but no, she's gonna strike with claws.
Okay.
But I'm guessing that blood of the martyr or whatever it was is gonna be bad.
Well, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens.
Yeah. Wow. Okay, he's getting 4 lethal.
Oh wow. Okay, the individual is wearing.
Wait, I actually. Yeah, and one more, but yeah, 4 damage.
All right, 4 damage. The individual is wearing quite heavy armor, and he absorbs 2 of that damage. So he's got 3 lethal at the moment. God Almighty! It's only the first turn. You've already just. So yes, you scratch at his armor. You literally just appear right in front of James, and you scratch at the individual. And you tear at his armor, and cause some damage to him. Even through his armor, you scratch at his face and his arm, and tear straight through that, and you cause 3 lethal damage. Jonathan, your PC, is he concerned about what's going on, or is he still busy about what the Nosferatu is?
I'm not sure if he's either going to strike the Nosferatu or if he's going to strike these guys.
I think due to your obsession, you're more focused on Nosferatu.
Oh god, he's going to attack her.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
Yeah. At least I have a lot of dice to this.
Okay, you may attack her. She's staring at this mirror. She appears completely defenseless.
Oh, she's defenseless? Okay.
Yeah, there's no defense penalty to this. She's just
I still get like -2.
-2 because you're in another kindred domain.
That's 1, 2, 3, 4 plus my specialty -2 is 6.
You know, 6 dice. See what happens.
I miss completely because I'm fucking awful.
You try to punch her. You try to crawl at her, to scratch her skin, to carve the flesh, but you just end up feeling her. Just sort of touching her breast, her nipple, her thigh, her knees. It's all a part of the sensation of misery and sadness. And you're looking at the mirror as you do this, and you see your mortal self. You see what you used to be, your mortal form in the mirror as you're kind of just caressing this horrid creature in the reflection before you. And I think you're just entranced. I think due to that role, you're just simply like entranced by what's going on there. So I think we're going to leave you out of this combat for now.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, maybe we'll do a roll. We'll do 1 turn and we'll do a roll to see if you tap out of it.
Okay.
But unfortunately, I think due to your
Oh my god, I'm not getting these rolls.
So we'll go back to our next turn, and the 2 hunters, of course, on top of the initiative. So they will hit first, unless otherwise.
One ain't gonna hit. He's stunned.
I think that was for his turn. He was about to do something.
Oh yeah. It's just
Yeah,
the
you
next
tried to do a
action.
thing and then ended up just botching it horribly.
Yeah, he would have done something that turn, but didn't because he was stunned.
Yeah.
But this turn, he's going to do something. So these 2 hunters are going to hit back, unless otherwise stated, because they're top of the initiative.
Righto.
Okay. So these 2 hunters will hit back. Each of them will fight each person in front of them. The one will hit Emily, one will hit James, and we'll roll the dice. So
one won't
James,
hit me because I'm using celerity as an action to just move away as he hits me.
so you're going to move away. Yes, you may spend your celerity.
Yeah.
I don't know. No, that's in your turn. So he's top of the initiative. He's going to hit you before you do that.
I can use a reaction whenever.
Yeah, I must admit, I'm not sure how it works, but
I think
unless you spend a blood point to be the top of the initiative, he hits you first. It's just.
Then I'm just going to do that actually.
Yeah, he's the. You can spend a blood point to go above him in initiative.
Yeah, then I'm just
But
gonna do that.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. You can spend a blood point to. But he's in combat with you at the
Yeah,
moment.
yeah.
So he will apply his defense to the gunshot if you
Yeah.
try to shoot.
No, that's okay.
And the other one will hit me.
Yeah, Eric, James, your character is top of the initiative, so you're going first. You've spent a blood point to do this. So what do you want to do?
I mean, I'm just gonna shoot him and bump one into dexterity once again, as well.
Okay. Sorry, what's your blood potency total? How many blood points did you spend?
I can spend 2.
So you spent 1 to become top of the blood. Oh yeah, so you spent 1 to be top of the initiative, and 1 to put 2 into your dexterity. That's fine. This person, because you're in close combat, he minuses 2, but you plus 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're shooting at point blank range. You're in combat, so he applies his natural defense to the gunshot, but you're plusing 2. He's minusing 2. So it's basically your normal dexterity plus firearm.
Normal dexterity plus firearms. That's just 5 dice.
All right, 5 dice. That should be enough, I think. This guy's already suffered a bit of damage. He's already
normal dexterity plus firearms. You said.
Yes, normal dexterity.
Minus 2 as well because I'm in other people's.
Well, no, you plus 2 because you added.
And defense. So.
No, he's minusing 2 to your defense, but you're plusing 2 because
never mind.
Your blood points. So yeah, it's just a normal dice roll. It's basically dexterity plus firearms.
Okay, that's 7 then.
Yeah, if that's your dexterity plus firearms. 10, 8. Yeah, I think that's enough to take him out on 5, 6, 7. Yeah, 1. No, 2 more dice and he's done. That was a 10. That's 1 more. I think 1 more success, and that could be something.
Off goes the head.
You basically, he comes in close to you, and it's as if he's you're so quick. You literally just put the gun directly under
his head and pull the trigger.
Boom, straight through, and this goes right under his chin. His jaw explodes. His upper eyeball explodes as the bullet passes through his upper cranium, and his head explodes as your speed and reflexes just get in there very quick and end him, this crusader, this individual, as now he is dead. And we'll move on to the other crusader who's about to attack Emily, and we'll roll his dice pool. Emily, what is your defense?
Her defense, that is stamina plus resilience, if you have any, right?
No, sorry, it's your dexterity. Defense is the lowest of your wits or dexterity.
And that's it, not plus resilience?
That's it. That's your defense. Your lowest of your wits or dexterity.
That's 3.
Plus celerity. So 3, okay, so it's
plus
7.
1, that's 4.
Plus 1.
You said from celerity, right?
Yes, if you have celerity, pluses to that. So 4. So it's 7, 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's 3 dice. He has. Repeat. 3 d10. And he's going to try and hit you. Sorry,
I think that's wrong.
Else I'm very dead.
No, I've rolled it the wrong way. I don't know how I've done that. I put the D before the 10. I don't know. Oh, that's wrong as well. Sorry, I'm being really bad here. So 3d10. Here we go. This is the final roll. 1 success. So he hits you with the torch and burns you, scars you in your face, and
can I dodge?
No, that's your defense. That's the dodging. You need to declare before the combat happens.
Oh, okay.
You're going to dodge. So he's going to hit you, and he's going to cause 3 points of aggravated damage. But you may spend a blood point to activate your resilience if you wish.
I will.
So what is your resilience?
2.
So 3 of the aggravated damage is converted. 2 of the aggravated damage is converted to lethal, but 1 point is aggravated, as it was 3 damage in total. So you suffer 2 lethal damage plus 1 aggravated damage as this individual shoves this torch in your face. And you may need to do a frenzy test because this is fire damage. This is the flame purging you from existence, which we'll do at the end of this turn combat. So if you could just mark that, 2 lethal plus 1 aggravated damage. Oh, sorry, no. 1 aggravated plus 2 lethal damage. And at that point, we go to Jonathan. Oh, no, sorry, we go to Emily. It's your turn. What is your reaction to this?
I think you make a fairly high scream as Emily is hit.
Yes.
Where did she get burned? Like in her shoulder, or?
We'll say the arm. We'll say an arm, whatever arm your preference is, as you try to block the torch.
By the way, does my armor add anything to it?
Oh yes, sorry, yes. Oh no, that's a very good point. Yeah, your armor will absorb 1 lethal damage, so you'll still suffer 1 aggravated, 1 lethal.
All right.
So 3 damage in total. 2 resilience converts it to 3 aggravated into 2 lethal, 1 aggravated, and your armor absorbs 1 lethal. But then you still suffer 1 lethal and 1 aggravated damage.
Yeah. Emily just screams very loudly as the aggravated damage just burns her shoulder, her left shoulder, and burnt, lovely smell probably begins to fill the room soon afterwards. And she will exact a vengeance and rip this guy from limb, hopefully. Well, that's only 1. That's not good. But it does succeed.
It's 1 success.
1 success, that's all.
So that's 1 lethal damage on this individual, which is absorbed by armor. 2 at the moment. So you try and claw into him, but again, his armor resists it as he's putting this torch into your face and he's fending you off with it as his friend is just dead beside him from a gunshot wound. And we'll go to Jonathan, and I'm going to say for this turn, Jonathan, we're going to skip it because of your obsession with this Nosferatu in front of you.
So do you want me to roll frenzy?
And at this point, yes, we'll roll frenzy for you.
I was actually going to say, yeah, I would like through the blood sympathy, Emily's kind of.
I think basically, Jonathan, next turn you'll be able to act, but unfortunately, you're still licking.
I actually managed not to frenzy.
So if you want to resist, oh no, yes, if you fail it, then yes, you go enter frenzy.
No, I managed to not frenzy.
You don't want to frenzy.
I have an 8.
And you have an 8, so that's a success. So you do not enter frenzy as this individual is burning your flesh with the torch. And we'll go to the next turn. And again, the Crusaders on top of the initiative, unless otherwise specified.
I will spend celerity.
You'll spend a point of celerity? Yes, you may. It's a 1 blood point, and you may go first.
Just so I understand the rules correctly, if I grapple this guy, he will not be able to use his torch, right?
Yes, he can. He still can if he wins the grapple.
If he wins the grapple. If he wins the grapple.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm going to actually go for the grapple.
Okay. So this is a contested roll. So it'd be your strength plus brawl plus vigor and plus any other specialities, which I think you do have. Versus
-2?
-2 because of the different Kindred's territory. And this is against his 7. So, so I'll just simply roll first. Oh, he gets a few 10s there as well. So it's the same. Plus 2 extra d10s.
I get 3.
He gets 3 as well. But you got 2 10s, so re-roll those 10s. Ah, yeah,
One more.
You got 1 more, so you win the grapple. He's trying to shove that flame in your face, but you win the grapple, so you may perform damage to him up to your successes. You may disarm him. You can bite him, and you can disarm him. Is another option.
I will disarm him.
Which weapon? He has the sword and the torch.
The torch.
Okay, so you disarm him. You remove that torch from him. So to explain the combat, he's about to, again, he's so quick and fast, and he's about to just hit you with this torch, but you pounce on him and cripple him, and immediately you just throw the torch to the other side of the room. As it's amazing how fast you're going. It's amazing how all of you fast. And he's left only with his sword at the moment, and he will go next. So this will be another grapple because he's still in grapple with you. So we'll do another grapple roll to see who wins.
That is 2 for me.
It's 3 plus 2 10s. 2 d10s.
Is he trying to break out?
No, he's going to try to strike.
Then he does not have that many successes because I have a specialty in a fighting style known as Brawl.
That only pluses 1 to your dice roll, not to the successes.
But there is a thing about it.
Are you talking about double jointed?
No, I'm talking about fighting style.
Oh, sorry. Yes, if you have that fighting style, please tell me. I'm not fully aware of it.
Sprawl. Subtract the higher of strength +1 or dex +1 from overpowering attempt. So it's not to mine, but it's when someone tries to overpower.
So when they're trying to control the grapple, they -1?
It says subtract the higher of strength +1 or dex +1.
Oh, so they're minusing 1 to their roll, basically.
No, I think that would be -4 because it's my strength or dex is both free.
Oh, sorry, minus your strength or dexterity.
Yeah, so subtract the higher of those from overpowering, meaning when someone is trying to overpower me. So that's -4 to his.
Oh well, then he has nothing. Then yeah, if that's the rule, I have to double check that. But yeah, that's.
Yeah, that's how I see it. I might, but.
Well, for simplicity's sake, yes, we'll allow that. That sounds right. So yeah, he's trying to overpower you, but you've just rippled him in the right way. You contorted him. You out defended him, and yeah, that's it. So you may perform an action against him.
I will bite him.
You'll bite him. But as you do, you bite him, and what do you drain from him? He's suffered a bit of lethal damage already. So what do you drain?
I don't drain anything. I just attack him.
Okay, you attack him. Well, your success is equal to damage, so that is 1. Sorry, how many successes did you get? Is it just the 1? 2 plus your fangs, which I think is a +1. So it's 3 damage. But as you bite him and tear at him, and this is enough to kill him. This is enough to rip him asunder. Blood gores and spreads across your face, and he's done for. This is a wound that no mortal can recover from. But as you bite him, the blood that covers him, the blood that now infects your lips and your teeth, it causes the amount of damage that you've caused him. So it causes 3 aggravated damage to your mouth, to your teeth, and to your lips. And your mouth is burning. Your mouth is actually like acid. It's like melting. You kind of instantly retract from him. You instantly draw back from him. Like, what was that? Oh my God. And literally your jaw is like a skeleton. And you're vomiting blood as you're trying to reject whatever you were trying to drain from him. And it does cause you 3 aggravated damage. He's dead now. You've torn his throat out. He's completely gone as a mortal. And he's just there trying to grasp whatever life left in him as blood is just pouring out of his massive open throat wound. And gargled words of like, for the martyrs, just echoes from his lips.
Emily just, you'll hear like a, as most of her throat is gone. She will crawl over to one of the ghouls.
Mm-hmm.
And she will use her claws to open up one of the ghouls and begin to pour. She won't be able to drink, but she will just begin to pour blood down her throat from it.
Yeah, there's still a corpse of a ghoul that's been like injured early or killed, and you drink, but it's just even when your beast is trying to gather more blood, it's just a horrendous injury. You can't heal from it. It's going to be there. It's going to take so long to heal this damage.
Oh yes,
as your jaw is exposed.
I'm going to heal the one lethal.
Yeah, that's fine. That's absolutely fine. But as you try and heal, it's that jaw as empty. James and Jonathan, even I think you at this point, awaken to what's happening around you. And this individual, this Nosferatu, hasn't moved. He's always just staring at the mirror. And we'll go to your reactions, and I'll be back in one moment. But yeah, Emily has suffered severe injuries. Her whole throat, mouth is nothing but bone, exposed flesh and bone now.
All right.
Why didn't I remember? God damn it.
James will go up to you and he'll bow down, take a knee not right next to you and say, Mr. Simpson, are you okay? You don't look so good.
I'm fine.
You don't look fine. Jonathan! Snap the
I may need to wait until Dave comes back, because I may still try and kill this bitch.
So, should we just wait until Dave comes back to see the reaction that Jonathan has?
I think Jonathan awakens to the situation, but the situation has already resolved itself, so... and we still got to deal with this person.
Yeah.
God damn it! Why was fucking hell? I forgot for a split second. God damn it! Oh well.
What?
Like if I had remembered in that moment, I would of course just have damaged him. But
damaged him? I thought I was going to say to you, don't kill him because I have handcuffs on me. We can interrogate him.
Now fuck that family gangrel here.
That is some information we just lost.
Sad days. Okay, Dave. Yeah.
Wait. Wouldn't I be able to use my resilience against that as well?
Yeah.
It's a bit late now.
I'm going to argue in this case because of the quickness, the madness to it, and actually because of the supernatural element. Even your resilience doesn't work against this. Whatever it is, it's like the sun has just been poured down your throat.
Okay.
And
That's
it
fair
just burns and sizzles, and it's as if your very essence is being purged from this reality. Your mouth evaporates, your throat evaporates, your lips evaporate.
Do I still have fangs?
Oh no, you've got all the necessary skull features.
Okay, great.
There's no flesh there anymore. It's just simple, open, skeletal features that remains. And you all know the death of two mortals is nothing, whimsical. But to have such an effect on a kindred in this way is very enlightening, very opening, very eye. The Nosferatu in front of you is still just there, staring at the mirror, singing the tune, the lullaby.
Fuck. I think John will. I'll spend Sue blood. And you'll probably strike her. Oh God. Jesus, this is bad.
She doesn't stop you. She literally, there's no defense. She doesn't.
Emily kind of gets to her feet, barely, and just walks over to Jonathan, seeming, well, a lot of expression is done with the mouth, and you can't see that because it's just like jawbone.
I deal 4 damage to her.
So you lash out to her, and I'm going to ask you: is this a lash out? Are you going to hit her? Or are you going to try to drink her?
Oh no, he's trying. So mechanically speaking, he's trying to resolve the obsession.
Your obsession is based about the blood. Her blood has that humanitarian essence, that sadness that you long for. So hitting her is not quite in key to that. I think drinking from her is.
Okay.
I think this is what you're doing. You're just jumping on her and eating and drinking from her now.
He doesn't want to drink from. No, I mean he does, but I mean he feels violated by her, so he wants to kill her.
I think we're going to mix this both together as you're trying to kill her and taste her at the same time. So you're just going to pounce on her and deal the damage to her by drinking her blood, and you will drain her slowly, and she doesn't resist. She doesn't stop.
FYI,
can I make a resolve check here because this is very close to dabblery, and I'm gonna like.
We'll say I'm happy for you at this moment. You drain from her some VK. Next turn, I'm happy for you to resist, to diabolize her. We'll roll for that at the moment. But at the moment, your PC is just like not jumped her, but just subtly bit her and started to drink from her. So
can I just interject something?
Yep, fair enough.
The combination of being very close to dying and the blood sympathy still ringing like something about this, Emily will jump her as well.
I do. I don't want to contest too much. It's just that obsession isn't vitae addiction.
It's really close though, because that's what you smelt from her. It's her blood. That's the obsession. It's her blood. And that's where it links into you wanting to drink her blood and taste her. It's that obsession. It's that innocence, that history, that smell of redemption. It comes from the blood. That's what you smell. That's what you're obsessed by. And it's just, rather than attacking her, you want to drain her. And it's just, but we'll do a roll in a moment. You can resist. We'll give you that option. So, but Emily, your decision to jump on her and to also feed, that's a strong suit. I mean, blood sympathy can only go so far. Actually, jumping on another kindred and feeding on them is very heavy. That's a choice.
Okay.
Yeah, that's very heavy. James,
the problem is,
I think you're very distracted at the moment because you haven't got a jaw. And your face is like.
I do have like the jaw, like the bone.
Yeah, you have enough, but it's a distraction enough to cause.
But
you
but I'm thinking like she thinks that this might be a person with such strong vitae that it might help.
Yeah,
it probably won't.
I think we'll skip. We'll leave you for a few turns because you're dealing with the fact that your face is melted off, and that's causing a problem. And we'll go to Jonathan, his role to whether he resists actually feeding. James, you're in the middle of all of this as you see one person with their face melting and another kindred feeding on the Nosferatu staring at the mirror. What is your character's decision?
I'm gonna go up to Jonathan, spend the blood into strength and just hurl him across the fucking room.
Okay.
Fair enough. This will be we'll make it a simple attack dice roll, and we'll simply go brawl, strength, plus any kind of grapple dice bonuses against Jonathan. What is your defense?
It's just 2.
Just 2, so -2. to the roll, Eric.
And minus another 2 because we're in her domain.
Minus another 2 because you're in her domain. Yes, thank you.
Give me a moment. I'm just gonna check something.
You're all really confused. You're all like really messed up and not sure what's going on.
Shit.
There you go, now we can't forget.
Where is it? There it is. Here you are. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. Some cool. That is 5 plus 4. Yeah. 8 dice.
Minusing 4. Minus 4. 2
Oh,
for
right. So
and 2 because you're in another kindred domain.
yeah. So my total right now should be 10. I'm spending 2 blood into strength.
Okay, yeah, that's fine.
And then minus 4, so 6 dice.
So 6 dice. Let's see what happens. 9, 8. Oh, there's 3 successes. That causes. Oh, sorry. Carry on.
And yeah, I'm using that vigor to just try
but
to.
That adds an extra dice. So that adds to the pool of dice. You have vigor, strength plus brawl plus vigor.
Yeah. I already counted that in.
Okay, fair enough. Okay.
I'm using the active. No, not.
I would describe this as James sees Jonathan about to eat or drain, and actually, Jonathan, you are draining some of her vitae. Let's just say a couple of points of vitae. But James just sees you doing this and immediately just walks to you, picks you up, and throws you across the room and causes 3 bashing damage as he does this. As he throws you across the room to try and stop you doing what you're doing. And perhaps this is the shock. This is the kind of knock in your head where you kind of wake up slightly. What the heck?
Okay.
And I'll give that to you as an automatic because this is. Yeah.
Okay.
You've suffered some damage. You're like, well, what am I doing? What's going on? While Emily, because of the pain, agony you're suffering, you're kind of on all fours. And you're kind of walking towards the rest of the group with your jaw melting, dripping as the flesh is kind of coming off of your face. And that's the scene we're left with. I'll leave it to you, characters, to describe what happens.
I'll scream to Jonathan. What the fuck are you doing? You with us now? He will snap his finger in front of you. You here?
He just flicks them aside and gets up.
Good. Take care of your clan, mate.
He completely walks away and begins walking up to Nosferatu lady again.
Yeah, she's just there, and it's as if she doesn't care or she's oblivious to what's just been happening.
Okay, he'll smash the mirror over her face.
Oh, yeah, that's fine. As you do that, she just simply like cries and just goes into a buddle or a curled ball on the floor, going and just sort of screaming and then just sort of whispering to herself, 3 plus 3 plus 3. 3 plus 3 plus 3, 3 plus 3 plus 3. The bunny will get me. The bunny will get me. 3 plus 3 plus 3.
I'm gonna grab the torch and just hand it to Jonathan. Finish her.
Like, I mean, he looks at the torch. Man. Jeffrey, Jonathan has so many decisions.
How did you do it? I do it.
He kind of looks at the torch for a moment.
Don't you want revenge? For whatever she fucking did to you?
This figure in front of you is just repeating the same thing. 3.
No, I think I know what he's gonna do.
3 plus 3 plus 3.
Because he's really, really fucking mad.
And by the way, just to make things more creepy, the music box is playing in the background. Just da, 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 da.
And what he instead he will lift her up, drop the torch, and carve her head with his claws. As he kind of just says, on my terms, nobody else's.
As you do this, as you lift her up, and she doesn't resist you, she doesn't stop you, and you lift her up, and your claws encroach on her neck, grasp her neck, close on her neck. The claws deepen and deepen to the point where you know you can rip her head off. And she just smiles at the broken shards, the broken mirror shards on the floor. At which point she just simply says, I'm redeemed. I'm free. 3 + 3 + 3. And at that point, a head comes off, flies across the room. Her corpse falls to the floor. And she has entered the state as any kindred does in such circumstances, has entered torpor. As her body sort of slowly degrades and decays slightly. But you know for a fact, as all kindred, it takes a lot more to kill kindred than that. The body can still resurrect. The kindred may still awaken.
Well, I mean, he'll
One must destroy the heart.
Yeah, I was going to say, he'll destroy the heart.
Truly make them dead. Good words, Peter. Good words.
That is what Emily can say at this point.
Yes, I love it. I've never heard such poetic words.
But yeah, John destroys the heart.
You tear into a chest. You simply rip out the heart. And of course, all kindred hearts are black. Blacker than night. Blacker than shade. And of course, you squeeze. And the more you squeeze, the more tighten your grip. The heart just starts to evaporate. And the body starts to evaporate. As mist, as ash, as a bonfire, the flecks of flame that just glide up into the sky as this body evaporates. And it starts to dissolve, it starts to turn into ash, it starts to turn into bone. And there is still bone left in the fangs and the face, but the heart itself dissolves in your hand as you stare at it, you rip it, close your fist. And this once creature, and then at that point the music stops. The music box stops. And the fog is lifted from your mind. That thing that was causing so much confusion to all of you is now gone. Evaporates, disappears. And you realize, oh, you're only like 3 rooms down from where you started. You're only literally like a corridor and 2 rooms down, but it's taking you literally all night to get. And yet the music box is now not as loud or epic as it was, but still playing there gently towards these broken shards. And we're left with our players' final thoughts.
Well, James, at least, is just gonna, empty up a ghoul that's still there, I hope.
Yes, the ghouls, I forgot to mention, the ghouls that were there are suddenly revealed that they're not mannequins. They're not like these bizarre creatures. They're people, humans. They're naked, but they've been surgically altered.
Yeah, I think you said that before.
Yeah, they're literally like, but not only that, they're mentally just messed up. They have no idea where they are. They don't know what's happening. They're crying in the corner of the room. They're weeping. They're totally vulnerable to whatever you do.
Yeah, I'll empty one up. Just drink down really, really deeply. Look to Jonathan. Ask, you hungry?
No.
Right.
Through the blood sympathy, you begin now to realize that something's wrong with Emily, and you can sense like this creeping sense of agony, pure agony and pain. And you'll just look over, and yeah, like the lower 1/3 of her face is missing, and she's just, and she grabs another ghoul and drains it as much as she can, and just gorges herself because she needs blood apparently.
I may go wound up like that once. Only Carthain surgery is going to fix that shit.
Anyway.
You'll just hear as Emily's head just snaps over towards you, Jonathan. She just staring daggers at you, and she just writes she begins to write with her notebook once she finds it.
Then I'm gonna put on some leather gloves, and just check the 2 hunters or martyrs' bodies.
Yeah, as you do, there's no identification. There's no markings. There's no wallets. There's no phones. They just simply be wearing the body armor, swords and torches. Torches are simple, just oil, diesel. The swords themselves seem to have markings. They seem to have symbols, symbols of faith, Christianity, Muslim, Hindu, Turkish, Buddhist. It's all these kind of religious symbols. And a key symbol, which is the moon. Symbols of the moon in different form that seem to lead. And you know for a fact that you don't touch the blade, but the blood that's on the blade, you know for a fact that even being near it, you can sense your beast instantly just tells you, warns you not to touch, not to go near. This is something dangerous. And it's as if as close to the blade as you get, it's closer to the sun. And that's an instant reaction.
I'm gonna smell the blood.
Yes, as you try to smell the blood, you can't determine anything. It's so weird. You know there's blood there. You can see it. You hear the drips of it. You can sense it. And it's somewhat maddening, but there's no flavor. There's no taste. There's no sensation. It's
all right.
Void. And that frightens your beast more than anything possible.
Okay. Miss Stevenson, Jonathan, are we all ready to go? Stop chewing so much. You have plenty of blood in your system. You're not gonna fix that with simple blood.
So I will take a few days. I'll let you. Okay. I'll let you use my hunting grounds. I can't do anything to help you. Right
a piece of paper will just be shoved in your face.
Yeah.
With it like a frown. It just, I already have a hunting ground, but I can't. And she points at her face, and she just produces another page she's written, and it just says, "I need like a full covering niqab, like a Muslim dress, and I need blood delivered, and I need to rest." That is what it says.
I can do half those things.
She nods, and she will just write, the full covering dress will make it possible for me to move around. Something like that will be written. If needed.
Other than that, I'm just gonna try to like loot the room, I guess.
Yeah.
Look around.
Emily just kind of gets to her feet and just, there's this scrawl, but it's like muddled, like all of her speech is, and she just looks around. This half skeletal thing is looking around.
As you look around the room, you don't need to roll; it's all obvious. The key things are the mirror, which is now broken. But the remnants of the mirror, definitely you see all kinds of occult markings on them itself. Symbols of Christianity, symbols of mixed religions, all over the mirror. And again, that symbol, the moon in various forms, half moon, crescent moon, full moon, are just etched all over the mirror, and even on the mirror pieces. And as you look around, you see, of course, actually, you find the room is filled with all kinds of traps, acid, weapons. It seems as if this room is designed for mechanic workshop, as if this person, whoever's here, is designed to set up traps, design labyrinth mazes. You see maps, you see calculations to design to test people who enter the labyrinth. And you see the fact that, yes, people have come here before. It has a tick-off mark of how many people have come here and died. But it also has a tick-off mark of how many people have come here and survived. And it's marked off the knights of the drowned. And they seem to be the individuals who met the elite warriors, the hunters, the enlightened. It seems as if this whole place is nothing more than a practice ground, a testing ground for the humans, for the mortals. But it mentions the martyr, the silent martyr. It seems to be the one that runs this place. It doesn't give you description. All you see is some random notes, crazy random notes of the one we fed on, the one we ate, now punishes us, now eats us. Blood is devoid of her. Blood is her domain. And these notes, there's just a sense of fear about it, the way it's written. This is a kindred writing of fear. Even a crazed kindred, there's a hint of fear about the whole thing. And there is the music box, which is left. And this music box has a particular attunement, a particular sound or feeling or taste of redemption and sadness through one PC. And allow them to decide what they do with it.
They will take it.
So our particular PC, Jonathan, takes the music box before the other PCs. It's not very relevant. It's not very important, but it seems to swipe it very thoroughly. But beside that, there are no other artifacts, no other important.
John kind of looks at the broken body of Squeaky. And
it is flat and bloody.
Yeah, I don't think I can actually raise him from this state because he's literally just he isn't. Like, can I?
Yeah,
it's 2 familiars.
Go for it. Doesn't matter. You can do it. 2 familiars.
All right.
We'll deal with that later. I must admit, it does depend. Who do you value more, the dog or this rat?
I mean, he's only known Squeaky like 2 days.
But by God, he's lived well.
By God, he lived well. But you know, his dog's been with him for what? The better part of what? 2.5 decades. Two
decade. But then it's an inanimate creature. It's just it's a spiritual animal. It's not as if it's there. It's just it's a part of you possessing an animal. That's what it is. It's not the animal there. It's the you possessing the animal.
I think he'll take the body. We'll decide after scene.
We'll decide after scene.
But he will take the kind of the one true casualty of this endeavor.
Beside 2 Crusader corpses.
Yeah. John doesn't care about them. They deserved it. But he will take his small comrade, the one who stood by him, the one who gave him his title, and will endeavor to if he cannot revive him, then he will at least pay him the respect that a noble of his particular family deserved.
I must admit, this is very bizarre to the other PCs because you seem to be picking up in a very respectful manner, honourable manner.
He's gonna be giving respect to a rodent, which is
You're giving great
awkward.
respect to rodent, and of course to the other PCs, it looks like you're giving a lot of attention to a rat, which they don't understand. But then we'll leave it to their reactions.
Unless it's like a pet.
I think at this point we'll lead to final thoughts on the scene, and we'll happily end scene. So our characters find a seat. You see an exit before you. It's an exit that leads up to a simple alleyway that leads you to wherever. London Street corner, London Street area. The sun is kind of rising. You know for a fact you need to kind of get back to your havens quickly because the sun is coming up. But no, you know. No, you don't. Well, in whatever manner.
Some of us honestly don't. Well, kind of, but.
Yeah, you know for a fact, all of your beasts know for a fact the sun is rising. Because of your successes earlier, you don't have to face it, but you know for a fact it's rising. And you need to get to your havens quickly, or at least to get to a safe place, or remain for the night in this crazy hellhole labyrinth. But that's entirely up to you as a PC. And we'll go to final thoughts on each PC. So, Emily, your thoughts first?
After the initial shock, and despite the pain, Emily's thoughts are not what most people would think. To her, in her mind, in her very core, whether she's aware of it or not is another thing, but what lingers is a sense of pride, having survived yet another horrifying challenge, something that would maybe have killed others, who knows? Maybe have damaged them beyond repair, but in her mind, she has just survived another thing that has just proven that she can survive.
Jonathan feels completely and utterly empty and angry. He feels like he embarrassed himself. He feels like he was violated. He is wounded. He killed someone. He found a bunch of human dolls. And the one person that he might actually consider at least something of a friend, if not friendly acquaintance, is the person coming out worst out of all of this. None of this to him was worth it. But then again, to him, that is the Crimson Council in a nutshell.
James, as he's leaving, he sends like Miss Stevenson some sense of weird, inhuman pride in his work. He killed a vampire serving enemy of the Crimson Council. Learned some things he doesn't really know what to think about, and killed some hunters that is occupying the city. And he feels pride as everything is back to how it used to be. Back in the day when he was hunting others like his sort.
And with that, I think we can happily end scene on this story of a journey of Alice wandering down the hole, discovering evil truths about themselves and others. And once the mirror is broken, all we find are shattered remains of our own image. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this show.